Ciao, Juventus fans. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to your home for some of the latest updates regarding all things Juventus. We love talking about it, and we're also talking about giving you the opinions about, what fans feel about it, at least what are the fans that are on here feel about it. But we also want to give you a platform to hear your opinions as well. Anyway, so first topic we have of the day is the Locatelli situation. Where the negotiation, where is it currently, and what are those numbers that are associated with the negotiation? We have the away shirt for 21-22 was dropped today. Let me know, or I will let you know my thoughts on the shirt. I want to hear yours as well. Not that I'm the most fashion forward guy, but at the same time, I'll let you know my idea on that, as well as the Demiral status update and Dybala as well. Dybala is more injury. Demiral is more about transfer. We'll talk about that. Let's fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. And before we do anything, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. It really helps each of our videos and our channel grow, gives us a bigger presence, and hopefully it will eventually give you all a bigger platform as fans to talk and to communicate with each other. That's my big goal. That's what I really want out of this. Love doing these news videos. They're fine, but there's so much more that we can do out of this. And with your help, we can make that possible. So please make sure you subscribe. We're so close to getting to 1,000. Really got to thank you all so much. I can't believe that we're almost at 1,000 subscribers in less than 2 months of been doing this. It's truly shocking. It's truly, it's humbling. It's amazing just to see that how many of you all have jumped on board with us. So I appreciate it. And I love doing this with you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the news updates for the day, though. Number one is I gotta stop calling him our boy because he's not our boy yet. Our target, that doesn't have as good of a ring to it. Anyway, our current, favorite target, which is Manuel Locatelli. We have an update from Nicola Ballis. He's saying that continuous contacts have been occurring between Juventus and Sassuolo for Locatelli. Negotiations are progressing. The latest request is 35 million euros guaranteed between a 2-year loan and an obligation to buy plus 10 million euros in bonuses. 5 easy, very easy, 5 much more difficult. So I kind of like that situation. To me, I think that's a beneficial situation. I think for both parties, I think it's a fair deal. I guess the only way I'd look at it is, I guess first I got to figure out what that means. Does that mean overall that what they're wanting is to get 45 million out of it? Because let me retract a little bit of what I said. I said that's beneficial for everybody. Maybe I'm just speaking out of my you-know-what right now. Okay, let's review this a little bit. So the latest request is 35 million guaranteed between a 2-year loan and an obligation to buy plus 10 million in bonuses. I think bonuses are pretty regular though. So I guess you were looking at, okay, I see what they're doing here. That makes sense. Sorry. Dad brain, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So basically what you would have there is they get 35 million for sure, and then 5 that should be easy, so they get to that 40 million euro mark. That's Sassuolo wants completely, and then 5 that are much more difficult. Locatelli would really have to show out as a Juventus player for them to get up to 45 million. That's an interesting way to go about it. I don't know. I feel like if it were me, if I were Juventus, I would rather go closer. And I understand why they're doing it because it's all beneficial for Sassuolo. Then you're getting 45, which is more than we'd even expect at that point. But you're allowing Juventus at the same time to spread it out over multiple years rather than a lump sum right now. So we have 2 years doing that. I don't know. I guess more than likely, if I'm looking at that, not saying that they're being greedy, but I would maybe go it down if I could. If I were Juventus, I'd try to talk them more into about 30 million guaranteed with 5 million bonuses. Very easy. And then maybe the 5 much more difficult, maybe do it less difficult. Does that make sense? So it's a little bit more of a safe zone. So everybody's kind of happy. That's the way I view it. I'm no, I'm no accountant. I'm no whatever, a business. I'm no fancy businessman. No, but you know what I mean. I'm no whatever, I'm not an agent. I'm not working with all these deals. I don't do all that. Obviously, that's why I'm doing this. But anyway, that's the way I would look at it. Be a little bit more fair, especially with Juventus's money situation. But at this point, if you're Juventus and you can't pay 40 million for one player, like we as fans, and the club obviously kind of need to be worried, even more worried than we have been, maybe. And then moving on to this, more Locatelli about. Well, it's not really exactly Locatelli updated. But it's Alfredo Padula via TV dello Sport is saying that after Locatelli, Juventus will look for another midfielder, but not in any rush. So this, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the live show, on the Bianconeri Zone live show. We drop it every day at around, it's about, or usually we're every Monday through Friday from about 4:30 my time. So if you're in Turin or whatever, if you're going by that time, or not 4:30, sorry, 4:45. I get stuck on that number every time. 4:45, so it would be 10:45 if you're in Turin time. Do the math, however that works for you. But with that, we do these every Monday through Friday. Today, this evening, it'll be just Julian by himself doing it. I'm sure I'll be lurking in the comments or whatever. So because I'll be on the road traveling during this time. But I'll be there lurking in the chat, hanging out with you guys. So make sure you tune into those. But basically, it's kind of spat in the face of everything that I've talked about for the longest time now, where for the longest time, I think it was Di Marzio and a couple other people had kind of confirmed that the feeling was Juventus would go after Locatelli. Well, first it was the deal would be basically only 2 to 3 players tops, and that's basically what we're looking at. Now they're talking about Juventus going after Locatelli, trying to finish that deal, and then potentially adding another midfielder. I swore that I would never mention this name again after yesterday. It did nothing for us in the long run, but basically the situation with Miralem Pjanic, the situation with him. Maybe what they're talking about here in the situation they're talking about, potentially bringing him back as the last second option. I would prefer not. I'd prefer you go after another midfielder who has a long-term potential of staying at the club. It depends. I mean, there's a few other options out there. We talked about it yesterday. You can go back and rewatch that. Please do. It helps us out. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to hear or talk about in those lives as well. But that's where I look at it right now. So I guess now we're looking at potential. They're not in any rush, so it means they may not obviously do it, but the potential of adding 2 midfielders, one with Locatelli and then one at, the last option being Pjanic. Anyway, let's move on to something that doesn't give me aneurysms. Anyway, basically. Then we've got the very new 2021-2022 away kit dropped. It's beautiful. We'll have it right here in this area. Hopefully the graphic hasn't popped up for you guys. We have Dybala wearing it in the photo that I am seeing. Hopefully that's the one that you all are seeing. If my producer changed it, I swear to God, if he changed it and edited it to have Miralem Pjanic in it, but I'm sure hopefully he didn't. Anyway, the situation with that going forward, or not the situation with that, that's the new kit. I'll be honest, who am I kidding? I'm not the fashion guy. But at the same time, what I liked when we first saw, I don't know if you saw the first leaks that dropped out of it. I kind of liked it more without the pinstripes. It was basically just a black, the black jersey, a sleek black. And then you had the shoulders and then the J. And I think the Jeep and all that actually had the, the color gradient, whatever you want to call it, the pink to orange, whatever. I'm also 31 years old. Like, come on, it's not for me. They're not doing it for me. I liked the original look though. I thought it looked cool, and I thought it had kind of a an effect where basically it would be, it would just show, I guess maybe in the light that it would reflect and look differently. I thought that would have been cool. I'm okay with this one. My biggest problem, the pinstripes I wasn't a huge fan of, but then I showed my wife. My wife likes them, so. If my wife likes them, I guess I'm wrong for the most part. But my biggest problem, and it's the same problem we're all going to have all this season, and hopefully this isn't forever. I understand you got to get that money, and when you're hurting for money, hopefully they're paying extra for it. But it's that 4XE under the Jeep logo. It's just so ugly. It'd be better if you could just do the 4XE in white. Or whatever color they're using, just do it in one solid tone instead of doing the color, the silver with the blue and all that. And then it's the 3D-ish, whatever you want to call the look. I hate it. I feel like it kind of really takes away from what our shirts look like. It just bothers me. I hate it. If there's a way that I can find that I can peel that off, I may end up doing that. We'll see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the shirt. I'm sure there's a lot of you that are younger than me that are way more fashion forward that can tell you your thoughts and tell me why I'm wrong about, my feeling on the shirt look. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic of the day. And that would be Giovanni Albanese is talking about Pjasa, saying that Jurk really likes Pjasa, who has already tried to bring him with him a couple of times in the past. Juventus and Torino have an open dialogue. I mean, yeah, that's the situation. We know that Pjasa's not staying at Juventus. He's on the move no matter what. That appears to be the situation going forward. I don't have much else to say on that. So there's your update about Pjasa. Now we have an update regarding the situation with Mehdi Demiral, and this is Gazzetta dello Sport, which is saying that Demiral wants assurances from Allegri that he will play a lot. If not, a transfer is likely to take place this summer. I feel like it's kind of safe to, just tell him you're probably not going to be playing a lot because we've got Chiellini, we got Bonucci, we got De Ligt all in front of you, and they've all kind of. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but they've earned their spot. De Ligt definitely has. And then also Chiellini and Bonucci being those veteran players that have really had a resurgence this summer for Italy and the Euros. Of course, the difference is can Chiellini, even Bonucci too, can they both stay healthy for the whole stretch of the season? More than likely not. Chiellini was amazing. Playing in that tournament. And it's kind of nice. He's really great for tournament format because you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about it, but it's less likely for him to get injured with those few games rather than over the span of a whole season, training regimens, all that going on. Anyway, as it stands, Demiral, he wants to play a lot. Also, the situation when I say that, though, is like, he wants to play a lot, but they'll say a transfer will likely take place this summer. I know there's been some options, but we've been pretty clear that Juventus does not really want to haggle when it comes to his sale, and they don't really want to loan him out. So we'll see what will happen. Will they end up breaking down and doing another loan deal? I hope not. But we'll have to keep an eye on that going forward. The price tag has been $40 million. I've seen it drop to $35 million. Then it seems like it's back to 40. We'll see what they say. He didn't do himself many favors for Turkey during the Euro, especially against Italy, which I still thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Not that I guess they needed it after you see the way the whole thing went. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't know how many options, maybe Tottenham, maybe whatever, will end up trying to buy him. We'll see what Paratici does. There's a lot of rumors with Paratici if he can be helpful somehow. We'll see. And then we've got the last, I believe this is last. Yeah, this is the last story of the day. Kind of some good news. After yesterday, I remember coming into it talking about, I think I started the day doing the news show talking about Dybala. It's not happening. We don't have to worry about that whole situation. And then later he goes down during practice or whatever, what have you. That news gets out. I think this was Micro de Natale that is reporting that 3 to 4 days of rest and Dybala will return to training as early as next week. The MRI did not show any injury. So just great news for us to receive regarding this. I was really worried that, I was just worried that this was going to become a common thing with Dybala, which you hate to see, that they're basically just, when somebody gets injured and once they get into this progression, you look at this for another option, another idea of a player that struggles with this would be, the situation with Nicolo Zaniolo at Roma, who's a Juventus target or has been. Who knows how seriously, especially because Roma's like, we ain't selling him. But I love that kid. I love what he brings. He's a force. Force in the midfield. Everything he does is great. Everything he does is great. It's okay. I'm a little bit okay. Maybe I'll be over speaking there, but at the same time, like you just see how that's crippled his career. And, hopefully he can even come back from that. But we'll see, when he went from one ACL injury to another. I understand that's not exactly what's going on with Dybala. But, just some of these little nagging injuries can build up over time. And I can tell you myself, playing different sport or whatever. But after you get to like 30 years old, I think the day I turned 30, a switch flipped and it was like your body's bleeped. Like it's not gonna heal as well. You're going to gain weight a lot easier. You're going to get fatter or whatever it is. It's just all that stuff just builds up over time. But anyway, my hopes are that Dybala is fine with what they're saying. There is no serious injury. I think it was just a fatigue or whatever have you. Hopefully that's the situation. And hopefully we get to see him playing sooner rather than later and for a long period of time when it comes to the season. I want him to be able to be a piece that they continue to build around going forward in the future. That's all the news I really have for you today, though. Thank you all for checking in with the Bianconeri Zone, and thank you for all your comments and responding to me and all the stuff that you do. I enjoy that back and forth with you guys. You guys are the best. Make sure you please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon to stay notified with all the latest videos. Like I said, we have so many different videos coming out now. We got Transfer Meter, we've got the news shows, we've got the lives coming out. So eventually, Julian, given that he's the more intellectual of the two of us when it comes to the game of, the beautiful game of football, he can break it down a little bit more. So hopefully whenever like Locatelli comes out, he can give you a breakdown of some, good in-depth stats and stuff with him going forward. But anyway, make sure you, like I said, do all those things, like, subscribe. I'm going to keep saying like or subscribe. Just please do it. We're so close to 1,000. Can't wait to get to that mark. It's really, like I said, it's crazy that we're almost there. Anyway, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram at Bianconeri Zone, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.